So, hi guys, welcome back to this week's Footy Friday. And this week we are going to go through this week's Champions League, and then hopefully at the end we're going to pick our own Champions League side made from the players, like we said, like last week, that we've seen in the Champions League. But let's just jump straight into it because there's been a lot of talking points during the week. First, we'll start with the Dortmund game, Dortmund versus Sevilla.
Right. Yeah.
It was 3-2 on from the first leg.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to start with the madness that is the VAR. I don't know what happened. Did you see the highlights?
I didn't.
Okay, right. So if I remember rightly, I can't remember who puts the ball in for Haaland, but I think it's Royce. Royce puts the ball into Haaland. Haaland basically smashes it into the back of the net. It's a goal. They're celebrating. But then, like a minute before, the previous play, somebody is judged to have pulled Haaland's shirt to give a penalty.
Right.
So the goal that he scored has been taken off, and they're given a penalty.
Okay.
And then I think if I remember right, the keeper saves it.
Mm-hmm.
You see him give Haaland a little bit of stick. Then it comes back to the VAR. He's off his line. The goalkeeper's off his line, so then it's free taken. Haaland scores. And then, it was just all a bit of a weird... Yeah, it was like all a bit weird because it was like, what's the point in going back to that play when he's just scored a minute after?
Is it to do with referees wanting to gain control and sort of making the final decision? I don't know. It seems like recently...
They didn't need to, though.
Yeah, but maybe that was... I don't know. Maybe they thought now's... I don't know, because it's not a good time to use it. I don't understand. Over the past... couple of months in the world, not just in England, but clearly in the Champions League as well, it seems that the refs want to ignore VAR. I was just watching what you're on about with Dortmund just now. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's a bit confusing.
Because it's like, what's the point? Why would you? Because I thought it was all about that attacking play, that attacking phase. Not you can't go back.
Yeah, that's usually what it's like, but clearly not. Referees have different interpretations and different reasoning behind different calls when they should all have the same reasoning for calling different things. But, I mean, I suppose in the instance it's hard to get it right straight away. And even with VAR, they're still not getting it right. So who knows where VAR is going and what developments are going to be in the future, because clearly it's still not working, even with the technology they've got at the moment.
Yeah, it was just, like I said, it was just a bit odd because, like I said, it was just, it is just odd because it was, like I said, it's just for some reason, why would you take it back a minute to then take off the goal that he's just scored? It was just all a bit of a faff.
Who knows?
I
mean, they won in the end, although I didn't expect it. Over the two legs, I didn't expect Sevilla to score that many, despite winning the Champions League last season. Champions League? They won the Champions
League.
Europa League, that's what I meant. Despite winning the Europa League last season, I don't think anyone really thought they'd get really far. And although Dortmund aren't a world-class side, although they haven't got world-class players in every position, they are a good team. And I think a lot of people look at Haaland and Sancho and think that the whole team's like that when it isn't. It is pretty much just those two.
Well, yeah, because if you look at the lineup last night, you had Hits in net, Mathieu Murray at right back, Chan and Hummels at centre backs, Nicholas Schultz at left back, Dahoud, Delaney and Bellingham in midfield, Hazard and Royce in the attacking midfield, and Haaland up front.
The only one that's world class in that team is Haaland. Royce used to be, but with injuries used to be, but with injuries and things. I mean, he's probably never going to leave Dortmund anyway. So
no,
now,
I think
but Haaland, You could argue that Sevilla on paper are the better side.
Yeah, there's the more well-rounded.
Yeah, they just don't have that star power, which luckily Dortmund have. Because if they didn't have Haaland and say had, who was their previous striker? I know they had
Alcacer.
Adrian Ramos at one point. Oh yeah, Alcacer. Have they still got him? No, he's at Villarreal.
No.
Yeah, they've had a history of not doing too well with strikers, but Haaland seems to flourish in that position. Him with Sancho. It might have been different without Sancho, but him, Royce, Haaland, they seem to mesh well and gel well, despite being from all different backgrounds, all different leagues before then. But
Yeah.
they're doing well. They're through to the next round but we'll see. I'm not convinced they'll go much further, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Like you said, they're a good side, but when you're coming up against like City, for example, Liverpool. I know Liverpool have not been performing as well in the league, but in the Champions League they've looked a lot better.
Yeah.
Coming up against teams like that, Real Madrid is another one. I know they've not. Real Madrid they didn't have a great start to the season, but they have been they're a pretty good side.
Yeah, with the teams that are left in the competition or in the next, when Madrid, City, Chelsea, whatever play, they're probably going to be, although a lot of people think, oh, they're really good, they're sort of going off what happened last season rather than this season. This season, they're not doing amazing in the league. And when they win, if it's not Sancho and Haaland, it's rare that someone else is scoring.
Yeah.
So
they are missing that. Those are the players to pick up.
I'm just going to see where they are in the league. I think they're third.
I thought they were fifth out there, something like that.
Wow, sixth. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
It's currently sixth. Yeah. So not doing amazingly.
No, they're not. They're not. You're right. But I think now it's all eggs in the Champions League basket.
Yeah, but if all eggs are in the Champions League basket, last night wasn't a good representation of what's to come if they're drawing to Sevilla.
Yeah, and Sevilla could have won it if they'd have brought what they did in the second half more.
I feel like Sevilla are a very underrated team and could be a much better team in Europe. Well, it showed the last season beating Inter Milan, who were pretty much favourites to win, I think, based off of their run up to that.
They were favourites to win everything.
Well, yeah, exactly. They didn't do well. Sevilla, like I said, Sevilla are just a well-rounded team and just gel really well together. Whereas Dortmund are okay, but don't have star power in every position. Yeah. You either need star power in every position or a good, well-rounded team, and Dortmund have neither. So they're not going to go much further. I think they might win the next round, depending who they come up against, but I don't think they'll make the semis. They might, I think quarters they'll struggle.
Yeah, because like you said, look who's still left in the draw. Obviously, there are still games to play, but you've got Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, City, Atletico Madrid is another one. Another 1-0 down to Chelsea, but Chelsea's another one. Under Tuchel, they've looked pretty good. They're to name a few of them that are still left in the draw.
Yeah, I think they're going to struggle. There might be only one or two teams, maybe three, that I could see them beating, but that's if the main teams don't go through. But I don't know. They're not a strong side at the moment.
No, they're not at all. But one side that proved a point, Porto beating Juventus on away goals.
Yeah, they look strong. They look really strong. I watched the highlights of that game, so I can actually talk about that one. Yeah. I mean, Juventus, again, is similar to Dortmund. They're very, well, not even reliant on Ronaldo, because Ronaldo didn't score, but I don't know. There's something about Juventus. They feel they should, looking at their team, they should be world beaters. They should be one of the best teams in Europe, but they're just not. There's something missing. Despite buying Ronaldo, it's almost as if he's taken something away from them. It's
But
like he's stopping them from doing what they were doing before.
But the thing is, though, it's all well and good going getting Ronaldo, but when you don't, you can't exactly. I know he's he's greatest in the world, but you can't exactly put all your faith into a 33-year-old,
You think Ronaldo's 33?
36,
36, yeah.
36-year-old. I know he's the best in the world, but there comes a time where it's like you need other people to step up to the plate.
Exactly. I mean, they have that in, like, that Chiesa scored 2 goals yesterday. I think that was a good signing from Fiorentina. But I think I said it a while ago. They've been signing good players, but they haven't been signing elite players, which I think Juventus's mentality should be past that. They should be looking at elite players. And I know Ronaldo is elite, but they've signed him when he was 34 or whatever.
Yeah, he wasn't necessarily, he can still provide what he can, but he's nowhere near. He's not nowhere near he's definitely nowhere near where he used to be.
But if you look at the team that played last night, Szczesny, not world class. Cuadrado, no. Demiral, no. Bonucci is going to retire soon.
At his time, he was.
Bonucci at one time was, yeah, but not at the moment. I'm talking about current now. Sandro at one time he was, but not anymore. Chiesa looks like a good up and coming player, but it's probably Juventus is probably quite a high up, quite maybe too high for him.
I don't think so. Like you saw you saw when he was against Porto, he was still good. He was still a good player. He had good movement on and off the ball.
But he's not young, is he? He's like 26, isn't he?
No, I thought he was like 20. Yeah, I was going to say he's quite young.
All right, never mind. Forget what I just said. He's a good. I thought he was older than that. Hence why I was.
Yeah.
No. Well, he's potentially someone to build around then. But then you've got Arta, good player. Rabiot is useful. Aaron Ramsey,
useful.
He's been getting goals, yeah. So you could say useful. And then Alvaro Morata. It's an odd team. I can't put my finger on it because although they did win yesterday, obviously the other game they lost.
Yeah.
But they should never be losing to Porto.
But yeah,
I mean, Porto, although they have half a decent side, I mean, the what was it? The free kick yesterday. I don't know what.
Oh, that was a great free
kick.
The
wall. Are you joking?
It was a good free.
Are you actually joking?
No, it was a good free kick.
It's like he scuffed the floor. He just drilled it along the floor. The wall absolutely just went completely apart from each other. And then Szczesny tips it onto the post and then gets up and moans about it. It's like, first of all, what's the wall doing? Ronaldo just goes like that, just turns his back and opens his legs. Yeah, it's just legs just splits. And you just think, what are you doing? He's 36 years old. He's been playing the game for almost 20 years and he does that. He's clearly, I don't know whether he's lost his passion for football or he just doesn't want to play for Juventus because he's not showing it, especially in the Champions League.
Yeah, well, it's like the 10 points off Milan at the top of the table. The third at the moment.
It just seems that I'm enjoying it more because other teams in other leagues are doing better. Like in Germany, there's 4 teams in between top and Dortmund, Bayern and Dortmund, and there's 16 points in between them. And I enjoy other teams doing well, but in Europe, you want to see the top teams.
Doing
better.
Because it comes then it's just become it's like, oh right, okay, they've fallen off massively.
Well, yeah, exactly. Look where Juventus were, 4 years ago when they were in the Champions League? Was it 4 years ago?
Yeah, when they got to the final.
Yeah, when they lost to Madrid.
Yeah, because that was in Cardiff 2015, 2014? Or was that Lisbon?
I think it was between 4 to 6 years ago, around that sort of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, look where they were there. They looked like world beaters, but now they've gone backwards. It's like you should always be progressing. And I know they're going to lose players, but
well, yeah, because
from that team. Go on, sorry.
Like you said, you got Bonucci retiring. Ronaldo, he's 36. He can't be at Juventus much longer. Alex Sandro, 30. You know,
Cuadrado.
He's got to be 30, going push 30 odd, 32.
You got Chiellini.
Yeah.
You got Buffon, who's still on the bench.
He's 40. He's flipping 40 odd, man.
I think he's 41 or something. Let me just have a look.
43.
43. Wow. I mean,
I know he's a good keeper, or he was in his prime. But get him off the bench, Bill. Just get him off. You don't need a 43-year-old reserve keeper.
Yeah, exactly. Just have a youngster on the bench.
Well, they've got a flipping 30-year-old backup keeper.
Oh, is that the one that like never? Oh no, that's someone.
Carlo Pinzoglia, or
good pronunciation. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's nostalgia keeping him on, but yeah, like you said, take him off the wage bill. He's got to be on a decent amount.
Just make him a non-play a coach. Yeah.
Yeah, just make him a coach behind the scenes.
But like you said, Bonucci, Chiellini, Cuadrado, Alexandro. How old is Danilo? Danilo's 29.
Yeah, so give it probably the end of next season. Ronaldo will probably retire.
I think the youngest part of their team is the midfield.
It is. Their midfield looks promising. The team that played, Ramsey is
Ramsey's 30.
Yeah. Rabiot's what, like 26,
25.
27? Arta's what, 23?
24.
And Chiesa's 23.
Yeah.
So that averages out at what, about 26?
Yeah.
So yes, it's not bad. And then you look at the strikers, Morata and Ronaldo. Morata's what, like 29?
28.
28 and 36. So that's averaging at 33. So 32, 33. It's just... And then the goalkeepers, like you said, I mean, Szczesny's like 30. So their goalkeepers average at about 34, 35. It's just an aging team. And the replacements they're getting, they're just not living up to the standard. Like De Ligt isn't doing what people... I know he's still young. He's still like 21. But he's not doing what he was at Ajax.
You would expect De Ligt to be a first-team player in that team.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He should have been playing. If he was how he was, he should have been starting. On Tuesday.
How long's he been there? About 2 years.
Yeah.
So he should have come in 6 months, partnered with either Bonucci or Chiellini, and then forced them out.
Yeah.
But he hasn't. He still doesn't get in the team very often. Well, I lie about that. He does. But even Demiral's taken him out.
He's been there.
Even Demiral.
He's been there since 2019, and he's played 65 games.
I mean, that's quite good. That's quite a lot.
This year, he's in the league. He's played 14 games and made 12 starts.
14 games. Yeah, that's not many. How many games have there been? About 35?
There has been 25. 26. 25.
So he's playing just over half. I suppose that's not bad, to be fair. But you'd want him to be a future captain.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look. Chiellini. How many is he? He's only played 8 games this season. I can understand he's 36.
Right, they're phasing him out, yeah.
But Bonucci's played 19.
How old is Bonucci? He's like a couple of years younger than Chiellini. Yeah. Yeah, they're not... I mean, you've still got years in Bonucci.
Demiral's played 14 games.
Yeah, I mean... they don't... It doesn't seem like they have a first two, to be honest. I think Bonucci is in that team, and then they seem to mix Demiral and De Ligt around.
Yeah, and they need to have a structure,
mm-hmm.
and it just doesn't seem like they've got it at the moment.
I think you see that in a lot of teams this season.
Yeah.
You could say that with we were just talking about Dortmund. We were talking about a different team, Barcelona. We were talking about it. Even not as much Liverpool, but you could question some of their lack of signings or the signings they have made. You can question, and the lack of depth that they have and the backups they have compared to their first teamers. A lot of the teams are like that. In terms of their first team, it's very strong on paper. And then when they get one injury, two injuries, one person retires or they make a sub, they can't compare. The players coming on just aren't as good. Hence why they do poorly, because they rest some of their first teamers and for Champions League games like this.
Yeah. But we can't take anything away from Porto. Porto played well throughout both legs. Especially, this leg, Pepe showed that he was, he showed his class, showed he still got it.
Yeah,
I know he for some reason he only got a 6 rating for that. I don't know how, because he played really well.
Yeah.
So we can't take anything away from Porto. They did well.
No, not at all.
I just don't think, like we said about Dortmund, I just don't see him getting any further.
No, I don't at all. I'd see Dortmund going further than Juventus. Juventus are up. Porto. I'd see Dortmund going further.
Obviously, Dortmund are going to go further than Juventus.
Shut up.
And then moving on to last night's games. That's Wednesday's games. Liverpool beating Leipzig. It was going to happen.
Yeah.
They'd already won 2-0 in the first leg.
Yeah, as soon as they got that first goal, you pretty much knew that was it.
Yeah.
RB Leipzig again. It's a team that shouldn't go much further. They are sort of that sort of level of team.
Yeah.
They can make it to knockouts, but they shouldn't really make it much further.
Yeah.
Liverpool just did what they had to do. I mean, there's not much to say about it. Liverpool have been struggling in the league recently, but in the Champions League, they've been doing what they need to have done. They haven't been scoring loads of goals, like over 2 games, 4 goals. That's enough. Teams aren't really going to challenge that, really.
No, they're not. You're right, and it was a typical Liverpool performance that we've seen recently.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of attacking from them. However, Leipzig did have a few chances. They could have probably challenged a little bit more, but obviously too late then.
It's weird again because Leipzig do have a strong side.
Yeah.
They just can't. It just doesn't play out in the Champions League. I know last season they got to the semi-finals, but that was a bit of a freak thing. But I mean, every player that played last night, I know who they are. Whereas for like Liverpool, I can't say the same. Like I don't know who. I recognise the Phillips guy, but I didn't know him before this season. Liverpool again should be. I mean, everyone knows they're having a bit of a poor season. They're, but they can sort of fall back on the trophies they've won and it not really affect them too much. Fans aren't really going to care because they had so long without a trophy that a Champions League and a Premier League title within 18 months is solid.
Yeah.
But again, they're a team that are close to falling into the same bracket as teams like Dortmund and teams like Juventus. They don't seem at any time to cash in on players. I think that's what teams are struggling to do at the minute. They seem to think that players are immortal and that they can just go on and on and on and on and on. They're not. Eventually, you're seeing it with players like Firmino this season and Sadio Mane. Then there is a limit. They can't keep doing it every season. Salah is obviously an anomaly to that, but Mane, although he scored fair amount.
He has been playing. Salah is one like you said. Salah is one that has been doing well quite a lot. He's been kept it up. I think he scored 20 odd goals this season for the 5th season in a row or something like the fourth or 5th season in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So he is a consistent player for him.
I think that's the problem with the teams that we talked about, as well as Barcelona, that they're not reinvesting in good, solid backups and investing in world-class talent. Liverpool have done it. Like Jota was a good signing. Thiago, although this season hasn't really lived up to what he did at Barcelona and Bayern Munich, he can do it, but like defenders, you have Van Dijk injured for X amount of time and you don't replace him. And then when you do replace him, you buy a guy from Preston and a teen from a struggling Schalke side. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's what question. I would. That's what when I saw that they'd gone for Kabak, was my first question was, why have you gone for him, who is playing at Schalke, who have got the worst offence in the Bundesliga, are having one of the worst seasons they've ever had, and you've gone and poached one of their defenders?
But they would be looking at it from the money perspective, saying that because they've been having a bad season, Schalke won't have a high price tag on him.
But you could have easily gone anywhere else and probably found exactly the same kind of player for probably the same price tag from someone who's not struggling.
How much did they pay for him?
Well, he's on loan at the moment, isn't he? I think he's on loan with it. I don't know whether it's an option or obligation to buy. I think it's 20 million or 19.5, something like that.
Oh yeah, I suppose that's okay. I suppose if he was sort of early to mid 20s, you'd sort of question the decision. But 19, I mean, even if he doesn't work out immensely, he could be a good half decent bit part player for when Gomez and Van Dijk are back.
Yeah.
They haven't, like I said, they haven't quite fell into the trap yet, but give it 2 years, and if we're looking at a very similar team, they're going to keep struggling.
Yeah. One team that's surely not struggling right now is PSG.
100%. They look one of the best teams in Europe, one of the best teams in the world at the minute.
They're, apart from some of the English clubs that are still in the Champions League, PSG have to be up there with favourites to win it.
100%. Last season, PSG and Bayern Munich were there. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that again.
Yeah, like bringing in Pochettino as well, to bring in some newer, not necessarily newer, but it's like I think he wants to prove a point himself, and everyone wants to prove a point to him.
Yeah.
So I think it was just a great appointment at the time, and it still is.
And looking at the, were you about to burp or something?
No, I was hiccuping or trying to keep it in.
With the PSG team as well, I think because they seem so good is because what I was saying with the relying on aging players and not investing, I think sort of before Neymar, before Mbappe, they were falling into that bracket. They had Ibrahimovic. Although they were doing well in Europe, they would not. They had Cavani, they had Ibrahimovic, Verratti at the time, Maxwell, Sirigu in goal, Thiago Silva. They had players like that. And where teams need to be doing it now, they did it 3-4 years ago. They were investing in that youth. Hence why now, when they have the aging players like Florenzi, Marquinhos, Kazawa, Verratti, they've still got Draxler, they've got Paredes, they've got Kimpembe, they've got Mbappe. It doesn't matter. They did it before they had to. They did it in them struggling times, whereas the teams like Barcelona, like Juventus, still aren't doing it now when they need to. People should look at that PSG team and see and show that you can have aging players, but you need to be aware of the. Exactly. Exactly. You look at that team, you've got Navas, Florenzi, Marquinhos and Verratti that are probably the aging players, and even Icardi, who's like, 28, 29. But then you've got Mbappe, who's like 22 or 23. You've got Draxler. You've got Draxler, who's like 25 or 6. He's not young, but he's not incredibly old.
Yeah.
And then you've got Kimpembe, who's like 23 or 24. And then and then we look at Barcelona, and the exact opposite is happening in that team.
Well, yeah,
the youngest player in that team is probably Pedri. But then you cannot compare Pedri to like an Mbappe. You cannot compare Pedri to a Kimpembe. Although he's good and he looks solid, Pedri should not be playing in the same team as Messi. Pedri should not be playing in the same team as Jordi Alba, Griezmann, Busquets. Whereas a Kylian Mbappe and even like a Paredes looks he looks good in that side because they don't have two standout players.
Yeah.
I mean, PSG have Neymar and Mbappe, but everyone else does work and helps out. Whereas you can't say the same for Barcelona. It is pretty much Messi.
Yeah. You saw the gap between some of the players in that game because obviously Ousmane Dembele had loads and loads of chances to bring the game to but he could have won the game in theory.
I mean, that seems to be I've seen a lot of them Instagram reels where it shows his highlights and, passing it straight to the keeper and things like that. I don't know, because he looked good at Rennes. He looked quality at Dortmund. He looked okay at Barcelona for a little while. I think it's always hard to play. Didn't he come back from an injury?
Yeah.
I think it's always hard when you've got knee injuries or leg injuries or whatever.
I think the one thing the only thing he's lacking is what you saw, especially on the game that yesterday, was his finishing. It wasn't quite up to like Champions League standard, for example. There were quite a few times where he just needed to open up his body a little bit more and try and bend it a little bit more rather than trying to go for the near post. He needs to go around for the far post.
Yeah. I was just looking at... Sorry, go on.
And, some of that stuff comes with experience.
I mean, he's not young.
But he's not had much games, though, at, for example, Barcelona's level.
I said he's not young. How long has he been around? I thought he was like 26. He's 23.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I could cut him some slack then.
So, he's
had 5 goal contributions this season in 20 games.
It's not ideal, obviously. But like you said, coming back from an injury, it was quite a lengthy injury as well. If I remember rightly, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was like near enough a whole year.
He was out for a long time. I remember. Looking at his stats that was just in the league. So in every competition, 33 games, 8 goals, 4 assists. I mean, it's not awful.
Not for a winger.
It's sort of a goal or an assist. Well, yeah, but he's been playing up front, hasn't he?
True.
Sort of a goal and assist every third game, which I suppose, you can go under the radar a little bit.
I was going to say you can get away with it, but not in that Barcelona team.
No, not at all. And I was just going to mention as well, when I'm just comparing the benches of that team, you look at Pjanic, Braithwaite, Neto, Umtiti, half the other players I don't even know who they are. And then you've got Kehrer, who's a solid centre back, Di Maria aging, but can still do a job. Rafinha, good solid midfielder. Danilo Pereira, decent. Sarabia, Ander Herrera, Dagba. I mean, it's like they're trying to. I keep going on about it, but they're trying to funnel up all these youth players without any experience, like push them straight into the first team, get them on the bench as soon as possible. But
it's like we said. It's like they've just realised that we're losing money, so we can't spend what we used to spend on players. So we've got to bring in the youth players. So let's just hope that they're good enough and just put them into the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like they're being selective of who they bring through. They're testing out all these players and seeing if they work. Whereas,
they're testing them out by putting them in games.
That's what I mean. But surely you should test them out in training and see if they fit. But I'm guessing they do that, and then they try them in the games. I don't know. Barcelona just aren't the team they were. Juventus aren't the team they were. Liverpool are falling down slightly. And then teams like PSG, who used to be poor, are climbing. Teams like Bayern Munich, who, have always been pretty solid, are still doing quite well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So moving away from this week's Champions League, let's talk about our Champions League team.
Okay. Why are you just staring at me?
because he froze, and I was like, "All right, okay." I was waiting
I
for
thought you
you
were
to
going to
reply to
carry on
the.
saying something.
No, I was waiting for you to reply to me, but
Okay.
because I couldn't tell whether you were going to reply to me because you froze.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. We move. It's fine.
Okay. We move.
So there's quite a few players to pick from. Just a few.
Mm-hmm.
You
Just
know.
a few.
Well, let's start off with goal, because no matter what formation we play, we've got to have a goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm. So wait, I need a list of all the teams that's still in. How about I just look on things? So we're just doing the teams. I'm assuming the teams that's still in it.
Yeah, we'll go with the team that's still in it. So
Sweet.
you've got PSG.
I mean, there's probably only two really.
PSG, Liverpool, Dortmund, Porto, City, Chelsea.
Oh no, there's quite a few actually.
Madrid, Bayern, just to name a few.
Yeah. Yeah, I say there's probably three. I'll say my three. I'll say Alisson, Courtois, and Neuer.
Alisson, Edison, and Neuer.
I mean, I'll pick Neuer all day.
Oh yeah, I would too.
That was easy.
Boom, straight in there. Now the question is. now the question is, what formation?
I think 4-3-3 is fair.
Yeah,
I think that
so
benefits
too.
a lot of teams.
I think so too. So we'll go with right back. You got Cancelo, Walker, Alexander-Arnold,
Florenzi.
Who plays right? Yeah, who plays right back at Bayern?
I'll have a look. I know they got a player called Sarr that they signed from Marseille, but I don't know if he plays. I'll have a look for you. Wait there, sweetheart.
Don't worry, I'm waiting.
Right.
You got Danny Carvajal.
I mean, it says Bruno Sarr.
Okay.
I'll have a look at their first team squad.
Because, like I said, I know Kimmich used to play there.
Pavard.
Benjamin Pavard, yeah.
Benjamin Pavard. Sarr.
I think if we're talking right back, it has to be Alexander-Arnold, Florenzi.
Who's Real Madrid? Carvajal.
Carvajal. I did say that before.
Oh, sorry.
So there's only
for Salco, for Atletico.
Yeah.
I'll pick Kyle Walker.
Alexander-Arnold.
Fair enough.
So we've got a compromise here.
I'm going off of more than just one season or 2 seasons. I think Kyle Walker is just pretty solid right back, and this season he's looked okay. Although he's not played a hell of a lot, he's still fast. He's still strong. He can read the game pretty well. He makes good runs off the ball, which Trent doesn't do as well, I don't think.
Okay. I do agree with you there. So I think we'll go with Kyle Walker then. So
Perfect.
our 2 centre backs.
Are we doing injuries aren't a thing, or injuries still exist?
No, injuries out. I think.
Oh, okay.
This is the sliders that you turn off on FIFA. No injuries.
Yeah. Okay.
So just in it, there's quite a few.
Yeah, but I think there's probably only 2 you put in there. I think it's got to be Ramos and Van Dijk, no?
See, I don't like Ramos. That's the issue. I just don't.
He's better than Van Dijk in my opinion.
He is, but I don't like him.
But I don't see any Porto centre back. Sorry, go on.
Pepe. Flipping heck. Pepe is a legend, mate.
He's still good, but
yeah, no,
I think
he's not.
Yeah,
he's nowhere near where he was.
No. Okay. Yeah. Well, who else is? I mean, you've got Ruben Diaz. I know he's not on the level as them two, but
he will be at some point, I think.
Yeah, he could be. You've got Rudiger, possibly Thiago Silva.
Yeah, but even still, like you said, that if injuries aren't a thing, they're the two you're picking.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty set in stone. Like the goalkeeper, I think those two are probably the best out of those two. It's the best out of an okay bunch because there isn't many great centre backs that are there to choose from.
Yeah, they're still in it.
I think that's pretty fair. Those two.
Yeah, left back, one man.
Alphonso Davies. So CDM. So
another one man, Joshua Kimmich.
Yeah, so let's go back. Yeah, Alphonso Davies. I mean, you could say Robertson, and that's it. Those two are, or João Cancelo, left back, possibly because he's had half a decent season. But you'd probably put them in that order.
Yeah,
João Cancelo, I'd say Robertson, and then Alphonso Davies.
I apologise, people.
That's your bedtime.
It is. And then are we playing a holding midfielder, or are we playing a flat three, or an attacking midfielder, or what?
Let's not do that. Let's just have a flat three, but then like they can anyone like
right. I know
sort of anyone.
So you're looking at like Joshua Kimmich Kante, Gundogan, De Bruyne.
I think Kimmich and De Bruyne have probably got to be in there, and then maybe Kroos.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who else is there. Yeah, there's really much. There's no one that really like I can pick out in my mind that are gonna challenge for positions in that team.
I think it's I think. Wait, who did we pick? De Bruyne,
Kroos, and Kimmich.
I think
which I think was this year's Let's try that again. This year's team of the year.
Cut. Take two.
Yeah, I think that was the midfield for this year's team of the year. I think
Bruno Fernandes was in there.
There you go. It might be that.
I don't think De Bruyne got it.
Yeah. No, I think it was De Bruyne. I think it wasn't Kroos. It was.
Oh yeah, you're
right. They're moving through the midfield three to the front three.
This is easier than I thought, to be fair.
Yeah, but this is the bit that it's like. Well, right, I think we play Mbappe on the left or the right, either way.
Right.
Haaland through the middle.
Ooh. Okay, so go on.
And then whoever else on the wing.
Okay, well, I'd say, Mbappe on the left. I say Salah on the right, and then I say Lewandowski up front.
Oh yes. See, that's the thing. It's do you go Haaland or do you go Lewandowski?
I mean,
it's a tough call, that one. But
when Lewandowski retires, you say Haaland, but up until that point, you say Lewandowski.
Well, you saw it. You saw it against. It was again at the game at the weekend.
Exactly, against each other. He scored 2 goals, and then he just
Lewandowski went and scored just to show him off, just to show off.
Exactly. Doesn't need to score in the first few minutes to prove himself. He can wait the whole game and score loads of goals.
Exactly. Yeah.
If Bayern were out of it, then I'd choose Haaland.
Yeah.
But
they're still in it, and I think they will be. I think they will be for a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they made the final.
It wouldn't, like you said, it wouldn't surprise me if it was the same final as it was last year.
I mean, I can't really see anyone else challenging. Maybe City, but again, they just seem not to do it in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool will get to the semis, but I think they might get knocked out.
So, with that said, that was the quickest team we've ever done.
I was expecting that to take ages.
So, Neuer in net.
Yeah.
Right back was
Walker.
Kyle Walker. 2 centre backs, Van Dijk and Ramos. Left back, Alphonso Davies. 3 in midfield of Kimmich, De Bruyne, and Kroos.
Yep.
Up front, Mbappe, Lewandowski, and Salah.
Oh, why don't we do? Oh no, I was going to say, why don't we do our Europa League team?
Yeah, see, I don't really know. I don't know
Yeah.
more. I don't know many
much either.
other than the top ones.
Yeah, I was going to put Alfredo Morelos in there. Again, I don't really know.
Yeah. Maybe that we can do that next week once we've
just put the old Man United team in there.
I was going to say the whole Rangers team or whatever.
Yeah, true.
But I don't think there's much else to cover now.
We can cover the games tomorrow. Tomorrow, there ain't any games tomorrow.
The weekend.
Yep, that's what I
meant. So you got Leeds versus Chelsea, which is the early kickoff.
Are we predicting
that? I could see that. I could see that going either way, but I think
really?
I see it going more Chelsea's way.
You think Leeds will win that?
It's Leeds. It could happen.
They've been playing terribly recently.
But this could be the game that they just decide to go. You know what?
If they keep Luke Ayling at right back, they're going to keep losing. He's awful.
Yeah,
there's no wonder Arsenal got rid of him.
They need someone else there. Yeah. Now
they need also somewhere else at every position. They're awful.
Apart from Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips is actually quite good. No, he's decent. I think he's decent, mate.
The only I like. Oh, what's his name? I think they're pretty good for centre backs. Decent goalkeeper, young goalie, but he looks half decent. Okay midfield. I think the wings and the fullbacks they're poor. They need to upgrade those.
Rafinha's not bad.
Yeah, but who they got on the other side?
Harrison.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Oh.
Yeah. It could be one of those games that Leeds just decide to turn on the magic, but now I don't think we'll see it.
Nope.
I think it'll be a Chelsea win, maybe 2-1 or 2-0.
I was going to say 2-0 Chelsea. Yeah, that's all I really see, to be honest.
Not much else is happening during that on Saturday. I mean, Palace West Brom. I see that being a boring game.
You missed Newcastle Aston Villa.
Yeah, it's not really going to be that big of a game, though, is it?
I thought you accidentally missed it. Didn't realise.
No. So tomorrow, which is a Friday, Newcastle Villa. It's going to be another boring game. No Jack Grealish for Aston Villa.
I'll say 2-1 to Aston Villa.
I'd say 1-0 Villa.
Fair enough.
Going back to Saturday, Palace West Brom is going to be a very boring game, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to predict.
I think Palace will win it 2-1.
I reckon it could be a 0-0, you know.
Yeah,
neither team really look like scoring.
Yeah.
And, I mean, West Brom just look awful. And Crystal Palace, without Zaha, even with Zaha, don't look amazing. Zaha's not been that great this season.
Yeah.
So, I think that could be a 0-0.
Yeah, Everton Burnley. Again, I see this going Everton's way. I know Burnley have been solid defensively in games, but I just don't see him doing it against Everton that well. I think Everton win it 2-0.
I'll say 2-1, just because I think Chrissy Wood might be at the back post for one goal.
Fulham versus City. City to win 5-0.
I'll say 4-1.
Sunday's games. There's only really there's two big games, and the first two aren't the big games. Southampton versus Brighton.
2-1 Southampton.
2-1 Brighton.
I think Shea Adams scoring that goal the other day.
Yeah.
It's probably boosted his confidence a bit. And Brighton, Connolly, Morpie, McAllister, just not very good.
I think Brighton might just nick it. It might just be like one of those.
Really?
You never know with teams like that.
I suppose Southampton did just lose. Was it 5-2 to City?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose they're not coming off.
But then again, they didn't play it awfully.
I suppose they scored 2 goals against a solid defence as well.
Like they said, they didn't play awful, Southampton, to lose 5-2 considering the scoreline.
I just think they're just poor. I think they're just poor.
Yeah.
Even though I said they're going to win. But yeah, I think 2-1 to Southampton. I think
2-1.
Jay Adams to get a double. Stick a tenner on that if you're watching.
I think 2-1 Brighton. Next up, Leicester versus Sheffield United. Leicester to win
3-0 Leicester.
3-1. I know they want.
Billy Sharp score a penalty.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
In the second, 10 minutes to go till the end, they'll get a penalty. Billy Sharp will step up, whack it at the back of the net, and it'll just
come on lads, and then nothing.
Yeah, and then exactly. Arsenal versus Tottenham.
I hope Tottenham absolutely spank them just so I can watch. What's his face? Water bottle headphone person. Ty.
Oh yeah.
Say, where's the card? Where's the card? Cheat. Go NHS. Black Lives Matter. Harry Kane, you're an absolute disgrace and a cheat.
Yeah.
I hope Tottenham get relegated.
Yeah.
2-0 Tottenham.
3-1 Tottenham.
Oh, dirty.
United versus West Ham. That's a tough game.
It is,
especially with the form that West Ham have been on, and the form that United have picked up a point. They beat City.
If United would have won tonight, I would have felt really confident. But I'll say I think they'll still win. I think 2-0 to United, but I don't think it's going to be a convincing game at all.
I think 1-1.
Probably, to be honest.
Then the final Premier League game of the weekend is on Monday. Wolves versus Liverpool.
I thought you were going to give your prediction. I'll say 3-1 to Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool.
I think if they had Raul Jimenez and if they had the Adama Traore that showed that brief spell of excellence within about a 3-day period, then I think they might challenge. But with him out, they got Willian Jose, who's looked handy, but I don't think he scored this season.
But he's looked handy though. He hasn't looked.
No, he's not had the impact Raul Jimenez would. He looks better than the 18-year-old they've got there.
Fabio
he's
Silva.
just showing more experience. But Adama Traore is no goals, no assists this season. Doesn't even start. I can't really say much about them. They're just having a poor season. I think Liverpool will quite comfortably just do what they usually do. Well, I say do what they usually do. Do what they did last season and quite comfortably dispatch them.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it'll be 2-0 though, Liverpool. And that's it for the weekend's football. There isn't much else to cover unless you want to cover the Champions League that's after it.
No, that's right. See you later, everyone. No, I'm joking. I don't mind. I think they're pretty.
Yeah, I think it's just. I think it stays the way it is.
The only interesting one is probably Chelsea Madrid.
Yeah, because there's only a goal in it. But most
I
of
still
the
think Chelsea go through.
yeah, but I think most of the ties stay the way they are. You know, they've had both the sides that are winning are in good form. You know, they go into it in high hopes.
Yep.
So I think it'll just stay the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Really, there's not much else there. There's not much. I don't think there's much else to say other than that.
No, I think it sort of speaks for itself that the teams will probably win.
Yeah, I think that too. And that's it for this week. I think, unless something happens, something drastic happens. But we'll let you know that next week anyway.
Yep.
So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave notifications on so that you'll get notified of every video we post. Like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below what you'd like to see on the channel, what you'd like us to talk about, any people you want us to get on the podcast. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on whatever else you want to follow us on. Just don't follow us in person. And I think that's about it. And
people can follow me if they want.
There you go.
2 meters though.
Anything to add at all?
No, not really. It's a good little podcast as usual.
Yeah, as usual. So that has been us, and we will see you.
We can try and hit 10,000 subscribers by next week. That would be pretty good.
It would be good. Nearly impossible.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week for another podcast. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.